Hello everyone! Welcome to part 2 of the video all about Pigment DecoBrush markers by KARIN. How to fixate the paint. These are highly UV light resistant, meaning the colours don't fade in the sunlight for a long time. After the paint is dry, it becomes waterproof and permanent. However, if you wish for the paint to be fully scrub resistant, it's best to use an appropriate varnish on the market. The type of varnish will depend on what the marker was applied to. In order to fixate the paint onto a textile, you want to turn the textile inside out and iron it. Ironing it will help to lock in the colour to make sure that the colour doesn't bleed all over the place. You want to make sure not to exceed a water temperature over 40 degrees Celsius or 104 degrees Fahrenheit when you are washing your garment. If you want to fixate your paint onto glass or ceramics, you want to put the painted object in the oven for 15 minutes at 160 degrees Celsius or 320 degrees Fahrenheit. With this wood piece, I'm going to be using one layer of Mod Podge. You can use one thin layer of Mod Podge over your dried piece and it should act as a sealant for your wood piece. How to remove the paint. The best way to remove paint is to do so immediately after it has been applied to the surface. If you wait too long, it may be difficult or even impossible after the surface has fully absorbed the paint. Over here, I waited about an hour, and you can see that the paint has already stuck to the surface a lot more and made it a lot more difficult to clean off than when I wiped it off immediately. You can also utilize a product containing alcohol for easier removal, but this is not guaranteed to work. How to mix colors. To mix colors, you can work on a ceramic palette or plate and color a bit of the paint from each of the colors you'd like to blend on the palette. Then you can use a paintbrush to combine the colors to blend them. Do make sure that you clean your palette soon after you use it. Otherwise, as mentioned previously, the longer you leave it on there, it may fixate to the surface and make it more difficult to clean up the longer you wait. How to blend two colors on paper. In order to blend two colors on a piece of paper, you can apply the paint from one marker on a sheet of paper or object and then put another coat of paint from a different color below that and then mix them together. And then you should get a smooth color transition. You do want to make sure you do this when the paint is still wet. That's when you are going to get the best results. How to use a palette to blend two colors. Here I am going to color one color onto the palette, and this is going to be the color I will pick up using my other pen. So as you can see, the colors blend seamlessly together. When you see that the color is starting to fade, you can just pick up more color using the color on your palette. How to lighten colors. If you want to lighten a color, you want to touch the tip of the white marker onto any other color and hold them both upright for 5 to 60 seconds. The bottom marker will temporarily take on the color of the top marker. This will allow you to achieve a gradual tonal transition from the lighter color to the darker color, or inversely if you decide to do it the opposite way. You can also color a bit of paint from the color you want to lighten, as well as some of the white color onto the palette. Then you can mix these colors together with a paintbrush, and this will lighten your color as well. How to create tonal transitions. To create tonal transitions, you want to touch the tips of both markers and hold them upright for 5 to 60 seconds. The bottom marker will temporarily take on the color of the top marker. This will allow you to create a tonal transition from one color to another. It does work best when you apply the darker color to the lighter color, but you can experiment with both and see which one you like best. How to remove other paint colors from the marker tip. Sometimes the marker tip may absorb paint from another color. So, in order to return to the original color of the marker, you want to follow these steps. First, you will dip the marker tip into clean water. And then you will paint a little with the marker on a clean sheet of paper until the paint returns to its original color. Will using these on rough surfaces damage the nib? These KARIN marker Pigment DecoBrush markers are made to be used on a multitude of different surfaces like canvas and wood and ceramics. So the nib is able to withstand different textures, but do be mindful when you are using them if it is a surface that is not covered in the list of surfaces you can utilize. Then just make sure to take extra caution when using a rougher surface. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you check out part 3 of this video where we will be swatching out all the collections so you can see every single color.